Hey Game Correctors, Bianca here. So this last month and a half, I've been absent off the YouTube scene just because I've been going through some serious health issues. I had just overcome and kicked the backside of Ewing sarcoma. It's a form of bone cancer, and I have just gotten over it, and it's just been a wild ride of getting over it and a lot of other things. And I've been asked by a friend of mine to share my story. They think it would be really cool because some people don't know people with cancer, and then there's others like me. You can name a half a dozen people: your grandma, your auntie, your mom, your dad, your sister, your best friend's dog. You can name a dozen people with cancer. It started as a simple pain in my foot led to what almost killed me in 2015. So back in 2012, long ago, when the dinosaurs roamed the earth. 2012, it was summer. I was working at a camp working with children who are hard of hearing and deaf, and it was the weekend, and we were playing volleyball, and I think I had rolled my ankle. My ankle goes throughout the summer, go back into the school year. The foot pain started getting worse, and it wasn't like your normal, ow, I can't walk. This was like I would double over pain. I had finally hit the pinnacle. I was driving to college one day, and I literally had just pulled up into the parking spot in front of the school and couldn't move. My foot was like screaming like somebody had lit it on fire. And I was like, and I called my mom in tears. I was like, Mom, I can't even move. My foot hurts that bad. Can we call the doctor? So later that day, I went to get x-rays done. I went to the doctor, the foot doctor, and he looked at my foot. He said, see that shaded spot? And my mom was like, yeah, that's nothing. Because my mom knew sort of how to read x-rays. So she was like, oh, I don't see nothing. I'm worried. Well, the doctor said, that's a bone tumor. We don't know if it's cancerous or not, but it looks it. So we better get it removed ASAP. And so we had discussed options of treatment and different things. And it was really weird hearing me have to go and tell people I have cancer. It was the weirdest feeling because I knew people with it. To say those words, it was really weird. And I don't know why. I wasn't sad that I had it. I just was like, okay, I have cancer. So be it. That's life. About a week and a half later, I went under in the end of November, going to the beginning of December. I went under for my surgery, and lo and behold, they pulled the tumor out. It was probably like that big. It had broken through the side of my foot, on the cuboid bone, and destroyed the whole bone itself. They had to reconstruct with bone graft the whole bone because it had just killed, just mutilated it. There was nothing left of it. It was long overdue to be out. So when they took it out and they removed it and they started grafting my skin, they took it up for testing. And they were like, oh, by the way, it's benign. No problem. Well, we don't know. It wasn't until the day after Christmas. They had sent it to like 4 different doctors over at the University of Pennsylvania, and they had said, yes, this is Ewing sarcoma. I'm 100% sure. It looks like giant bone cell, but there are too many different proteins and antibodies or whatever he was telling my mother to diagnose it and say, yes, this is Ewing sarcoma or sarcoma. It's a type of bone cancer. So she needs to start chemotherapy right away. That was the start of the craziness. I started going through the effects in 2013, feeling it, having a port put in my arm. In May of 2013, I was told I didn't have any more cancer after some checks and after many rounds of chemo. And life went back to normal. I went through the rest of 2013 and 2014 to 2015, and I again started having foot problems, and I'm just like, the doctors told me this will happen. I'll just have foot problems. But the foot problems, again, were as painful as they were before. I went to the University of Tennessee's oncology department, and I spoke with them because I was already meeting with them to just check my body to make sure they didn't see anything. And I said, scan my foot. I'm scared. I'm having a lot of pain, and I'm having a really hard time walking. This time I'm not home with my own doctors. I'm away at my university, and I'm in another state, and I don't really know anybody, and I'm self-reliant on everybody else this time, and not my parents. So I started going through it. I had gotten the surgery. I started getting treatment. And what seemed like a simple in and out, no problem, turned into something much more by March. I'd come home because my health had just declined massively at school. And the homeopathic treatments we were trying to do weren't working as we thought. It wasn't killing everything they thought it would. So they tried another form of homeopathic treatments because I was away at school. They didn't want to give me straight radiation or straight chemo. They just were like, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try a more vegetarian based method. And so they put me on a vegan / vegetarian diet. I had a strict exercise pattern. I had all these different things. And it literally was like the weirdest feeling of, you either get a 4-inch needle slammed in your arm, or we try all these different methods that are not approved by the FDA, and we try to see if this will work. And if it does, hey, you're healed. If not, you still got to get a needle. You're going to have to get a needle. So we would try things, and we tested things, and I was kind of like a little lab rat for many, many months. I started going through it, and I was home, and I had gone in just for a regular scan to see if everything was okay, and I had gotten cleared. A week later, I had some aches and pains up in my collar clavicle area. And so the minute I have any aches or pains anywhere, I literally assume there's the worst of it. And I went to the doctor, and they were like, when they saw the scan, they're like, you need to go under the knife. There is a tumor, and it may not be cancerous, but it's sitting in a very risky spot. And it was sitting on a main artery. They don't even know how it got there. They said that you never get things like that there. But again, I'm the girl who had Ewing sarcoma or cuboid bone. Apparently, you're not supposed to get that there either. And it literally flabbergasted my mind that this was where it was. And they said, you better say goodbye to everybody just in case you don't make it. And for those who I loved on Twitter, I said goodbye to just in case. And some people were like, what's going on? What's going on? And it was like I was writing my suicide note. It was scary. It really was. It was the scariest moment of my life. It was like, I have to say goodbye just in case I don't come out of it. So I want to remember you guys. I went under, and a few hours later, I woke up, and I don't remember much of the surgery. They said it was nothing to worry about. It was just a systolic tumor. There was nothing to worry about. It was just really risky because they didn't want it causing any permanent damage. So I'd come out of it, and I started overcoming it, and they said, you know what, let's just give you, now that you're home, and this cancer really isn't going away as much as we wanted to, they started giving me small doses of traditional chemotherapy. Days ago, I had gotten a call. I went in for another scan to see how everything's going, and I got a call about them saying they saw another tumor, and I'm like, no, you're lying. They're like, no, we're dead convinced we see another tumor in the same spot, another systolic tumor. And I'm like, it needs to come out, but we think this one's cancerous. And they were freaked out. Here they were reading my old chart. Whoever had taken my scan that day was about as dumb as a box of rocks. They always put my new scans in front. They put it in one big charted folder, and they put my new scans in front. Well, whoever this doctor was, it wasn't my normal, normal guy I go and see who reads my scans. And whoever took my scan that day had put it behind, my new one behind my old one instead of in front. And I didn't think about it and walked away. So when they pulled my scan, the first thing they would say is, instead, just check the date, because the guy was an idiot. He just looked and said, oh, there's a tumor. You know what? You're going to die. And they recommended me going to Johns Hopkins University and getting medical treatment with their oncology department, because apparently their oncology department is one of the best in the world next to UPenn. So we started to make a very uncertain trip down to Baltimore, Maryland. We got about halfway there. We were in Delaware, beginning of Maryland. We got about halfway there when we got the call from my doctor saying, they read the scan wrong. You're fine. There's nothing there. And it was I just want to tell you guys, life's going to throw you things, and you've just got to be ready. whether you want to be ready or not, you just got to be ready to handle it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be tough, whether it's the loss of a loved one or getting told you have cancer. It's not easy. What I went through emotionally, mentally, physically has just, it wrecked me. But it made me realize that there's always someone worse off than me. And what really made me happy was just knowing I can. You guys can. You can do whatever you put your minds to. Whether it's the simplest things like trying to just pass a class to trying to beat cancer. You can do whatever you put your mind to, even if it seems damn near impossible. So just to kind of give you an update, I'm doing a whole lot better health-wise. I was in a car wreck last night. It wasn't my fault, really. A guy, he was speeding. He was doing twice the normal speed limit on the road. He was doing about 90 on a small highway in my area, and my friend and I, we were driving somewhere. We were coming back from dinner or something, and the guy T-boned us and flipped our car, our Honda CR-V. If you are following me on Twitter, you can see the picture there. And I was knocked unconscious. My friend was fine. She and I walked out of it with minor bumps and bruises. And life will go back to normal. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, click the like button in the below. If you want to see more of this face, hit the subscribe button. And guys, there's a link in my description. It's for a charity. It's done by my friend, Arrow in the Knee. He's raising money for kids with cancer in the UK. Please donate. It's www.justgiving.com/Arrow in the Knee. He's a great guy. The money goes directly to the charity he is raising the money for. He's raised over $500. Let's give more to give kids a fighting chance, and so that they will not have to suffer cancer, because it's no fun for me to have suffered cancer, let alone a little kid or an infant to suffer with cancer. So please, if you can donate to the link below. And guys, I love you guys so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!